Excellency John Domani Mahama, I'm not going to for pen or actual letter, since the end of Hakoma Air Council of State, and Goffon on Tony Funuso, no, so only a year Chief Justice in Fibo. If you say him, I don't say age in the letter of Victoria say, a master some arrest the air from our point, it's near Momu, any way in corruption air affairs. To see and say, Cochimoba, and say about the Chief Justice out a former government in appointing now. Conflict of interest being a hotel door shutting, omitting a mammy, a Chief Justice, her leadership, to Cono Esaba, a DFU, not Mamma January Chief Justice, Senior, meeting persecuting a year former apprentice legislature, involved in corrupt affecting the Mama, for the petition, a year CJ. Updates are if you or ever, young quite neguti embra.
Presidency wouldn't have control over, and so you can't also say that.
You're perfectly right. You're perfectly right in that instance. But let me ask you, what does the Constitution say? We know that the Constitution has quite a bit that it says about the removal of key personalities, including the Chief Justice. What are some of the grounds on which a Chief Justice could be removed from office?
Article 146 says that the Chief Justice or Justices of the Superior Court may be removed from office for stated misbehavior, incompetence, and infirmity. You know that the Chief Justice is first a judge before being appointed to the position of a Chief Justice, which is an administrative position. But when you look at Article 146, there are separate procedures for removing the Justice of the Superior Court and then the Chief Justice. But when you look at the Justice of the Superior Court, right, it is expected that when a petition is sent to the President, the President will now refer the petition to the Chief Justice, who will establish whether there is a prima facie case. But when it comes to the Chief Justice, it is silent whether a prima facie case will have to be established. It wasn't until the case of Ghanatube versus the Republic, Ghanatube versus Attorney General and Akweke, which is a case involving Bright Akweke, a very senior lawyer, and a known sports administrator, where the Supreme Court stated that even in the case of the Chief Justice, there is a need for a prima facie case to be established, and in that instance, or on that case, in that case, it will have to be established by the President in consultation with the Chief Justice. And so that clarity has been brought to bear in respect of the Chief Justice. And therefore, the first step is for the President and the Council of State in consultation to establish whether there's a prima facie case. I suspect that's why the letter said the necessary consultation with the Council of State has started. The communication from the presidency stated that the necessary consultation with the Council of State has started. I suspect it to determine whether or not there is a prima facie case. Once that is established, according to the Article 146, a committee will have to be constituted. The committee will be made up of 2 justices of the Supreme Court and then 3 other persons who are not lawyers or parliamentarians will be put together to look at the merit or otherwise of the petition. And so that is where we are heading towards.
Right.
Now, all these proceedings, according to Article 146(8), are supposed to be in camera. That is why the petition itself is not also supposed to be out, because it's part of the proceedings. The thinking behind it, by the premise of our Constitution, is that given the sensitivity of the position of judges, the kind of work you do, their integrity is very important. Don't forget that to obtain an appointment onto the bench, right, to be appointed to the bench, right, you must have proven integrity. And so that integrity is very essential for the work we do. And so it must not be easily or susceptible to flimsy attack. And so you don't want a situation where it will be made public only for it to fail, right? And then the image of the judge or the reputation of the judge will now be tarnished and be held in doubt.
Right.
We want to avoid all that. And that is why the proceedings are held in camera.
My colleague Sweetie Abachu will come in shortly, but just a quick point. There are very high standards for the removal of people like a chief justice or even a judge of the higher courts of adjudication. But in this instance, are you concerned? Because if you add Professor Kwekwaza's, a petition, this becomes the fourth time that there has been a petition, 3 in the current regime and 1 previously, against the Chief Justice. How discomforting is that for you?
You know, it's difficult.
If you hold position, a book in questions are gonna for Abisa, but they just a day if you be balance no matter in some higher cost of energy ever.
Difficult to remove politics from this. Difficult because nobody in this country can say that they do not or they are not aware of the commentary that has come from the NDC, irrespective of what they think of the judiciary, irrespective of how they think the judiciary has been unfair to them. We cannot discuss this without also looking at comments by President Mahama himself concerning the judiciary. We can list them up in many. And so,
wait, so are you saying you suspect all these petitions are just, the NDC through the back door trying to get the Chief Justice out?
It cannot be far-fetched.
It cannot be far-fetched.
I see. It cannot be far-fetched. It cannot be far-fetched. And so that is why I'm saying it's difficult to remove politics from it. But let me use this opportunity to appeal to the Council of State, which is the advisory committee of the President under the Constitution, that let's be careful not to destroy our democratic gains. It may set us back. It might be a bad precedent. And so if there is a just cause, let's do it. But if there isn't a just cause, let's be careful. Let's tread cautiously. This morning, I'm very concerned. If this happens in the future, someone else might do it, and it will not be good for Ghana.
Mr. Jebafwewa, on the back of this caution that you're sounding to the Council of State, I've heard you say that the President's consultation with the Council of State is a sort of constitutional safeguard, right, to ensure that petitions are not frivolous or politically motivated. And I just want clarity on how much discretion does the President have in determining whether a petition against the Chief Justice should proceed? How much discretion does the President have?
If you look at what the Supreme Court has by itself determined as to the wording, as to the meaning of the word consultation. Consultation is advisorial. But consultation is only an advice. It's only counsel, right? If the President is minded to accept the advice, he takes it. If he's not minded, he rejects it. I keep saying that, you can't compel anybody to take an advice. So in that regard, whatever might transpire between the President and the Council of State, to the extent that no one will know what happened there, the Council of State might never come out to say that we disagreed with the President. And so nobody will know whatever happened there. And so it may well be that the President on his own would hold that he thinks that there's a prima facie case. It may well be, because nobody will know whatever happened there. and it is consultation.
Yeah.
Right? And so to that extent, there's some level of discretion. To that extent, there's some level of discretion.
Well,
and the discretion lies in whether or not, or the choice to take or reject the advice of the Council of State.
thank you so much.
But even there, before you go, even if the president exercises that discretion, then the processes must follow for the same Supreme Court and some committee to be set up before any processes can follow and before this removal can happen. So even if the president or the presidency or any particular person decided there is a prima facie case, the same justices would have to determine whether or not the Chief Justice had to be removed, right?
So who determines who sits on the committee? It's the Council of State.
But he just said that the Council of State could disagree with, you know, the position of the president. If they are constituting it, then you should have more faith, right?
Yes. But if they are constituting it, we may have faith. But you see, it depends. I mean, there are so many factors that do come at play, right? And so that is why this morning, I, for instance, am appealing to the Council of State. We need to appeal to them that we need to tread cautiously. This might break our democracy. It's going to set us back. It will be a very bad precedent if it doesn't have a just cause that might affect us for a long time to come. It will be like, Benjamin, it will be like the frequency at which we have changed the name of the Jubilee House from Flagstaff House to Jubilee House, dependent on who is in power. Is that what we wanted our judiciary? We have to tread cautiously. If it is without a just and genuine cause, we should tread cautiously.
Thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. Nana Ejay Bafo Ewa is a lawyer. He is also legislator for Menchia South. He joined us for this end of the conversation in respect of the Chief Justice and a petition or some petitions for her removal.
Well, let's delve right into the second belt of big stories. And we want to look at President John Dramani's swearing in of admin.
Therefore, NATF1, and also the table now to some air shaking. But end of this month, to be for and answer door, and no air as I'm said, aha, air Ghanatube, so we shall and my friend.